All right, the first lacing we're gonna do is the flat lacing. This is what it looks like. It's sort of like a braid and it's really easy to make. It's good for making bracelets and it's a quicker lacing to make. So to make a flat lacing, the first thing you're gonna need is 2 strings. Pull out the strings to the right length and then you're going to start at the end of the strings. Pick one string, doesn't matter which one, and make a loop. After you make the loop, you're going to make sure that there's a little bit of the tail hanging off, and you're going to take the other string and you're going to tie a knot around the loop. It doesn't matter what kind of knot you tie as long as you tie it tight enough that will stay in place. You also want to make sure the tail on that knot you're tying is about the same length as the tail on the other string. I always tie a double knot just to make sure that it's not going to come untied at any point. So tie both of those really tight. Make sure you have a tail because you will need that at the end for tying it into a bracelet. Now you have a loop with the green. You're going to take the long part of the blue string and push a loop into the green loop. You'll hold it and then pull the long tail of the green to close in on the blue to hold the loop in place. And that is your first step. Now you're going to take the green string and push a loop into the blue. Hold it and pull the long blue tail until it is tight on the green. Now you have a green loop. So you just continue this process. You always put the opposite color loop into the other color loop and pull the long tail tight to hold it in place. Now the key to making a flat lacing look good is to make sure that it's tight. Sometimes when you put the string into the loop and you pull the tail long, you'll have a little extra left over right there. This is a problem that kids have a lot. You don't want that. So just pull your loop and make it tight so that you don't have the loop there and your lacing will look much better. I like to put my finger inside the loop to actually make it tight when I'm pulling it, but that's a little tricky sometimes for kids to get because they're not as coordinated with their fingers yet, but that's like a trick that I use. I put my finger in it to hold the loop tight while you're lacing. After you do a few, I usually do 3 or 4 laces before I pass it on.